Hi everybody, it's Catherine or Mrs. Cronall, and I am here today to launch my A Song of Ice and Fire reread series. It will take place on Saturdays from the 30th of September at 7 p.m. Zurich time or 6 p.m. UK time. And this is my second or third time to read the books, depending on the books. I've read the first two twice already and the last three just once. So I'm really excited to put a bit of distance between the show and the books. Not that I don't enjoy the show, I do, but I'm really excited just to get back into the books and really delve into the world and try and learn something new. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a friendly experience and kind of something that we can all learn from one another in a very nice kind of gentle way, hopefully. And yeah, I want to really enjoy the books, and hopefully you'll enjoy them, whether it's your first time reading it or, you know, your 10th time, whatever it is. So obviously the first book is A Game of Thrones, and I have divided this into 10 different sections. We are going to look at a section every week from the 30th of September on. So for the first episode, for the 30th of September, you can see on screen right now the schedule. For the first episode on the 30th of September, I will be discussing all the events that take place, all the chapters that take place up to the end of chapter 9, which is Tyrion 1, and that is page 87 in my edition of this book. So that's Tyrion 1 and chapter 9. I would suggest that if it's your first time reading the books, that the first thing you should do is number the chapters, because it can get quite confusing. Obviously the prologue you can skip, but Bran 1 is also chapter 1, and just do that the whole way through. There's a Wikipedia article that's very easy, can help you do this very, very quickly, but it'll just make it easier for you in the long run, and you'll know what I'm talking about. So as you can see from the schedule, I'm reading about 70 to 80 pages. It depends as we get towards the end. Sometimes it's a bit more, sometimes it's a bit less. So that's my aim per week. And for each episode of my series, I'm hoping to do just a general discussion of each chapter. I'm not going to go into a massive summary. I don't want to keep get it too long. I want to keep it short enough. So a general discussion, throw it back to anyone who's in the chat for live events. Some of the events will be pre-recorded because I have prior engagements lined up, so I think at least 3 of the events will be pre-recorded, but they're quite early in the book. So for those ones, I'll just discuss the chapters a little bit more, and I'll answer any questions that come in the comments later. But for the most part, every event on a Saturday will be live. I will endeavour to make as many of them live as possible so that we can do a proper Q&A in the chat. I will also look at different theories, but non-spoiler theories for the first part of each episode, so that maybe theories that you can look out for, or character traits or plot points that maybe you've noticed. Especially if it's your first time, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to just take it as it comes. However, in the last few minutes, maybe the last 15 minutes or more of every episode, I will look at more spoilery things. I don't think I'm going to do anything with the TV show. I'm going to just keep it to the book, because it just gets too confusing when you include the TV show as well. And there are plenty of channels out there doing the TV show. There are plenty of channels doing the books as well, of course. But I'm just going to stick with the books. So even in the spoilery zone, it'll be spoilery in the sense that it'll be for people who are rereading, what they've noticed this time around, what that means for later books, etc, etc. So that's what I'm doing for the show. I would recommend, as you can see, I like to highlight as I read. I'm not that bad. This looks really strange actually because the light is coming in. But yeah, I will be highlighting and making notes as I go, and I would recommend just one piece of advice as you're reading. It isn't chronological, so that can be a little bit confusing at times, but we will talk about that as we go. I will try and give you dates where I have them or where I've managed to look them up. I will warn you that I do like to talk about symbolism a little bit, and so things like colour, natural imagery, objects, things like that, I'll probably point out where relevant, that I really think are relevant to the character or the story or anything like that. I know George builds a lot of that stuff in there on purpose. Obviously, he's a fantastic writer. So yeah, so the main thing is to get reading. And on September 30th, we will look at everything up to chapter 9, which is Tyrion 1. So I'm looking forward to launching back into Game of Thrones. It's a great book. And the Song of Ice and Fire series overall, I'm really looking forward to it. So I hope you enjoy me on Saturdays, or if not, you can join me later, and I will endeavour to answer any questions. As I said though, I'm not an expert. I really want to hear from you guys and open up the discussion and just have fun. That's what I really want to do. So that's it. I will leave you to go read, track down the books or listen to the books, whatever it is you want to do. And I will see you on the 30th of September for our first reread discussion. I'm looking forward to it, guys, and I hope it'll be a lot of fun. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon.